And in this video we are going to discuss about this is the series of automation task for Selenium automation. And in this today we are going to discuss about the cookies, how to handle cookies while you're doing the automation or while you're writing the automation test cases. Let's say some cases are there where you need to handle the cookies. So if you are from the IT background and you are using your browser, you must know about its cookies. In general, also you should know for a basic information. So a cookies is a small piece of data that a web browser sends to a user's browser. It means when you open your browser and enter any path, any domain name, or any request or any URL from your web browser address, you are going to send a request to server. The server will send a response back. Okay, with that response, you can see here a web server sends to user a browser. Like with that response, we got some information that is called cookies. Now if I navigate here, if you notice here, I navigate to the Google page. Let me show you in real time where you can see the cookies. So for that, just open the google.com, go to right click, go to inspect element, and when you go to this application section, you will see the cookies section here. So let's see what are the cookies available that server sending us in my machine in this laptop with google.com. So you can see this is the cookies name, this is the value, domain, path, expiry, maximum age, like for how much time it will be available in this browser and it will automatically expire, the size, the security, and other more details are there. Okay, there are too many cookies. You can see secure pass and all the different cookies are there. So how can we handle these cookies while we are doing the automation with Selenium? So we need to perform two operations. First, we need to get these cookies, or let's say I'm going to use it for a next login purpose or some bypass the login or check the user other URL are valid or not with this cookies. And the other thing, also we have an option to add cookies, means we can directly add the cookies into this browser, into this with this domain. So if you read the definition again, a cookies is a small piece of data that a web server sends to a user's web browser, which is stored on the browser device. Yeah, this is my device. It helps website recognize user and remember their preferences, saves and information or their details for the future visit. So why the website servers are sending this data? To store some information in user's machine, to observe the behavior of the user and some other information like session information, and let's say what you liking. If you remember these days, if you are searching something, let's say you are searching for shoes over the internet, so next you will get the ads for shoes only, because they are storing cookies on your browser and then they are using for their business use or other technical use as well. Okay, so we are going to perform two operations in this tutorial: how to get us cookies in Selenium Java, and the next will be how to add cookies in Selenium Java. So how to get cookies in Selenium Java? For that, we have we have a manage interface here that contains the get cookies method. Okay, we are going to calling this command and this will return a set of cookies. It means the list of cookies. And what are the different properties that we can access? We can access name of the cookies, means this is the name. We can access the value, domain, path, and expiry. Okay, you can see these are the point I added here. So we can access name, value, domain, path, and expiry. And you can see also these information: value, domain, path, expiry. Okay, and yeah, for that we will perform this code practically. and after that we'll move to add the cookies. So let's see. Let's first log in, or just navigate to this Google page and read these cookies in your Eclipse. So let me dive directly into my Eclipse. This is my previous tutorial or previous setup. If you didn't watch it, watch the first video of this series of this playlist. You will get understand how we are doing this setup. So till now, what this code will do, this statement will print a simple message. Okay, open a browser, or let's update the message. Let me show you cookies tutorial. Cookies tutorial, and this line of code will done the setup for Chrome driver, and here we are launching the Chrome driver. Okay, now next step, I need to navigate to Google. Okay, so I'm going to enter driver dot navigate to, and I'm going to pass the browser URL here. Okay, next thing, after that I need to read I need to read these cookies. So for that we have a get cookies command. So let's say I'm going to say driver dot manage. There are different, like at this time you need this manage. Okay, this manage interface, and that under this manage we have a get cookies. Okay, we have a different method also. We can directly call any cookies by a specific name. Let's say I can use get cookies name and just pass this name. This is a name, so I will get the information of this cookie only. But for now we are reading all the cookies. Okay, so we are just calling get cookies. Okay, and this will return a set. Again, set is a collection concept, so you should be aware about it, or you can read more about it over the internet or ChatGPT. So you will get information about the set. So set will contain the information. The cookie should be unique, because set always store the unique values. And yeah, we can't get it directly. We have to convert it. So now we can convert it into the array list to get the information. But here we will print it directly. So this will not return a string type. It will return a cookies type. So let me use cookies from Selenium, and I can say cookies. That's fine. Yeah, so I have all the cookies of the browser or URL that driver is currently pointing. So currently this driver is pointing to google.com. Okay, here. So how can I retrieve this information and check my code is reading or not the data? So I'm just going to use a for each loop here, and you can see it's automatically set the values, right? And here I'm going to print some information about the cookies that we just get. So cookie dot get named. See, we have a different information here. Okay, we have a like name. We can get the name, we can get domain path, value, and is secure or not. So these are the important methods that we are going to use the name. If I directly print cookies, it will, I think it should be print the complete information of that particular cookie. So let's quickly run this code. So again, to run it, right click, just a Java main method. So I'm going to run it directly. So it launched the browser, navigate to the Google, and you will see we have information. So if you see the console, let me stretch it a bit so you will be easy to understand. You will see this here. We have a 4 cookies, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this automation suite, this automation script is running in a, like you can see this Chrome window being controlled by the automation test software. So it means currently it's running it privately. So if I go inspect element, and let me open it into the bottom, go to the application section, check the cookies section and google.com, and you see here we have only 4 cookies, AEC, NID. So you can see NID here, AEC here. The order is not same, not this one. We are handling the automation here. So OGPC and UULE. So let me go to the code again. So we have a OGCP and UULE. So this is the name. These are the keys and the domain information and the path, this domain information, secure or not, and other expiry information is available here for the cookies. Now, so in this way, you can read the cookies and use these cookies for the further use. I will show you some examples like why we need to use it, and that will be your task, exercise task. So the next thing, now you understand how we can get the cookies list of all the cookies. But let's say if you want to read a specific property, then how can we do that? So let's say here I just want to get the name of the cookies, get name. And now if I run this code, it will run only name, not other information. Okay, the execution is done. Now you can see it's only printing the name. Similarly, you can read the value, domain, path, expiry, etc. So how can I do that? Let me give one-time example for all of them. So get name and get value, right? And let's say similarly you have a domain, expiry, path, so you can call it. So you can see here domain, path, same side, value, and class, expiry. So I'm going to print expiry. Okay, now let's run it again and check these details are printing or not for a specific for all the cookies. So the browser is launching. It's a console. Okay, you can see this is the name. Okay, this is the value, this is the expiry, then again name, value, and expiry. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we have done how we can read the cookies. So let me comment this code, read the cookies. Okay, so now we'll see how can we add the cookies. Okay, add, let's say add cookies into browser. So in the reverse pattern, what we can do, if we want to add some information with this URL here into my application zone, I can add that application cookies. I can add. So how can we do that in Selenium? Let's create an object of cookies. So I'm going to create object of cookies. This cookies equals to new cookies. Okay, and if you see the parameters here, the argument parameter, we have a different options here. We can use it with 2 parameters, 3 parameters, 4 parameters, 5 parameters. These are the properties. Okay, so these are the properties. Let's say you just want to add the name of the cookies. Okay, you just want to name of the cookies and value of the cookies, then you will see use 2 parameter. Okay, if you want to add more things, like you want to add name, value, domain, expiry, accordingly you're going to use these options. So which one you need to use? So let's say I'm going to use with 3 parameter. 3 parameters, oh sorry, 4 parameters. 4 parameters means name, okay, name, value, and this one is a domain, and path and expiry. 1 2 3 4. So we will pass path and expiry and so let's say name, I'm going to keep it as a C name. Okay, and as a value I'm going to P, and let's keep it as a username. Okay, username P, and in third parameter what we can pass, we can pass domain. Okay, this is a domain. So let's say And if you see, notice here, the domain is starting from dot, or we can directly pass as well. So let's say I am passing google.com, and next thing I need to pass expiry date or path we can pass. So let's pass the date here, or let's pass the path first, and after domain we need to path, and then we can pass the expiry. So for expiry it will take a date format. So let's say date dot from instant dot now, so current date, but we are going to set the expiry. So it will be, it should not be a current date and time, it should be a date and time from the future. So what we can do, we can plus some time into this. So duration of, let's say I'm going to plus duration of days, and I'm going to pass it 2 days. Okay, so we have passed some parameter, we pass a username and path and all, and check. Now again go to my browser and browser driver called manage interface, and then call this addCookies command, and in this method we are going to pass our cookies object. So this cookies object contain multiple information, right? And now what we can do, let's run it and check these information is adding into the browser or not. So I just run it again. The browser is opening correctly. Let's maximize this and go to inspect element, check this application section, cookies section, and you can see username puppy and the URL, path, expiry date, and expiry date is for 23rd. After 2 days, today is 21, but it's showing 23 because we are adding 2 days ahead. Okay, and in this way you can add the cookies. And to print it again, let's say I'm using this statement before, and after that we are reading all the cookies and using it. So let's say cookie 1, I'm just changing the name because names are conflicting here. Now you will see the information will be printed into our console as well. Okay, into console as well you will see this information, username and p and all. So again it's running, and you go there and check p, the username p, and this is the 23rd Jan date, date of expiry. And so in this way we can manage the cookies into the browser. And what are some real-time use of it, and when we need a like let's say some interviewer ask you this question into interview, like how you are managing the cookies and why we are managing the cookies. So you can answer, we have a two-way, like we can set the, we can read the cookies of the browser for the current session information, we can read the name, we can read the value, domain, path or expiry of the cookies. And then if you want to add any dynamic cookie into browser with that URL session, we can add that as well, we have seen already. And now what are the real-time use into the scenario? So I'm going to discuss some scenario that if I will implement them practically, if you comment me, otherwise you can understand for the answers. So like a testing session management. Okay, let's take an example of testing session management. Means ensure user session are maintained after login. We are login by user, like login to the application, we are retrieving the session cookies and refresh the page and navigate to other page. Okay, and then we are verifying the user should be logged in. So what we do, we will verify the login button. So login button should not be there if user is login under the next page, but we can also verify the cookies. Okay, the like login cookies. And then to validate the remember me functionality, we can use the cookies things. Testing the logout behavior, we can use it when we need to bypass the login for a faster login. Let's say I'm on some page or doing some automation scripting, and I don't want to log in it again and again. So I can just bypass the login by using the cookies, because we are reading the internally cookies, and the same cookies we can set to that page. So it means the user is logged in. So that's all about the cookies in Selenium WebDriver. And you can comment us. I will, if you need the these statements or these documentation as well, I will share that as well. Or just be there with Codman. We are planning more information like related to the automation testing and for the interview purpose, so you can join us. And we are planning some free sessions, free live sessions, or for into the weekend, so we'll announce it soon. So